Symbiotica is a supplement brand that we love, giving us access to a wide variety of different options. Symbiotica is the one thing that I can always count on consistently to keep my health in check. And right now, it is the best time for you to try them out because they are having their biggest sale of the year. They are formulated with the highest quality ingredients out there. Symbiotica is transparent about how and where they source ingredients to ensure you get the best possible products. They're easy to take packets, make taking my supplements quick, convenient, and enjoyable. Plus, they use advanced liposomal delivery to ensure that your body can absorb the nutrients faster and more effectively than other supplements. It's great to know that we can trust Symbiotica and their ingredients. And it's crazy to think how so many supplement contains fillers and other harmful additives, but Symbiotica products are made clean and with intention. They don't contain seed oils, preservatives, toxins, artificial additives, or quote-unquote natural flavors. Unlike other supplements that can taste chalky, Symbiotica features supplements that taste delicious, from their citrus vanilla taste of their vitamin C to their vanilla cream flavors of their magnesium L-threonate. You can get great taste across all Symbiotica's offerings. You definitely need to get your hands on some of these products while their Black Friday sales last for a limited time. Head over to Symbiotica.com right now for 25% off plus free shipping site-wide. Head over to Symbiotica.com right now for 25% off plus site-wide. That is Cymbiotika.com. Head over to Symbiotica.com right now for 25% off plus free shipping site-wide.
You're crazy.
Bronwyn.
Hi, guys.
How are you? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Not just the podcast, my first podcast.
Your first. Yeah,
We are
round
cherry
of applause
popping
for all of us.
podcasts.
Yes.
We're popping your cherry.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Congratulations on being an exquisite housewife.
Thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment. People are like, "You're made for this." I'm like, "Oh, am I the worst?"
No,
Is that
you're
what
great.
makes
No,
me
you're
great.
I feel like I'm not. I haven't been immersed in Bravo world that long, but it really feels like not only with the fans, but even with your peers, there's like an initiation process. It seems
Sure.
like,
Yep,
do you
yep.
feel that?
Less with the ladies on other cities than on my own. There's a much steeper initiation process with the women I film with.
Yes, that's what I mean.
than
Yeah,
any
yeah,
other
yeah,
city. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then
The other cities have been really nice to me.
yeah. But that's it feels like
Yeah.
with the women on your season, it's who's this new person?
Yeah. And to be fair, they've had a rough time with new people.
Sure.
That's true.
After I filmed, I went back and watched all the episodes. I would have hated me too. I would have hated any new person coming in after what they've been through. But every time someone new comes on the show, they get burned. I mean,
Do you really think they're totally the victims in all this? Given how you've gotten to know
Can
some
I
of
plead
them?
the fifth already? Like, we're so
No.
early on. No, they're not totally the victims. Of course not. But I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Maybe some of it was just, we don't like new people.
Yeah, it gives that vibe.
Yeah.
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 So watching some of the episodes back, are you rethinking some of your behavior or words that you said to these people? Or are you just like,
Yeah, I have a tendency to come in real hot. I
Yeah.
always do. If I could give myself advice, I would never take it, but I would give myself the
Yeah, of
advice to
course.
go easier on them. Like let them get to know you a little bit at a time versus kicking the door in, which is kind of what I did.
Not that my opinion matters.
It matters to me. Tell me.
I don't think you should change anything.
Okay, great.
I mean,
Say that one more time, and I might just stick with it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should change anything. I think Salt Lake City is the premier Housewives show right now on Bravo.
It's
and
everything.
There's a lot of expectations that come in, and just even as fans, like I think as fans of anything, we are hesitant to accept new. We're always like, I don't know. Are they
Sure.
going to be as good, right? And you and even Brittany, like you two are kind of carrying this season so far.
I mean, I want to be very clear that I'm not in agreement with what you're saying about me, not about what you're saying about Brittany.
That's fine.
Or-
Talk your shit.
Oh, talk your shit.
Well, listen, we love her differently.
When people are like,
Differently,
when
yes.
people are like, Bronwyn and Brittany are new, I'm like, Bronwyn and Brittany don't belong in the same sentence.
That may be true.
Just a quick catch up from Bronwyn's perspective.
And we love Bronwyn's perspective. But we don't have to focus too much on Brittany,
Sure,
but she
sure.
is at least messy and vulnerable, and I am interested in her mess.
I cannot turn away from it.
Yes.
I was so many times, I would be just like, mouth open, watching her. Like, what is this woman going to say next? What's she going to ching her glass for to make an announcement about today? I was also invested.
When she was conducting
See, I wasn't invited to that.
in her living room?
You don't get invited. You don't know. I had to watch that when everyone else watched it.
So you two don't like each other?
Does Brittany like me? I wouldn't know because I don't talk to her because I don't like her.
Oh.
Period.
Why don't
No. That's we had a rough go of it.
I mean, it started off
Sure.
bad.
To be fair, I was not actually that mad that night. I thought it was kind of funny.
With the costume comment.
Yeah, that is not far cooler people than Brittany have offended my clothes before. Like I was not surprised. People don't like my clothes. No, I was kind of joking around. I did feel bad for her in between Mary and I on the couch. She was in the wrong spot sitting between the two of us. But I was kind of rubbing her back. Like I was like, ooh, girl, you're really putting your foot in your mouth. There were other things that progressed where I just got this vibe of like, I don't think she so lovably puts her foot in her mouth. I think she does it on purpose and then is like, oops, I didn't mean to say that. I think she means to say it. And I'd rather somebody say it with their whole chest. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm done. Let's rewind a little bit.
Please.
And then we'll get back into Salt Lake City.
Okay.
But we and the audience, we want to get to know you.
Okay.
Your backstory, like who you are, where do you come from?
Love talking about themselves.
Right?
Ask me anything.
Fun.
I'm here. What do you want to know?
So, like, where were you born?
I was born in Brazil.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was born in Brazil. My mom and dad, both of them are not from the U.S.
Okay.
And my dad worked for Chevron for forever and moved around. And they just happened to be in Brazil. This
Oil
will
money.
tell you a ton about me. My mom had other kids, big age gaps. They had 2 girls and a boy, totally done. She thought she had some kind of like a stomach tumor. And the doctor in Brazil was like, no. Amazing news.
You're a stomach
He's like,
tumor.
oh, it's like
Yeah.
it's a pregnancy. Like this is a good cause for celebration. She was like, stomach tumor might have been easier. And shockingly enough, I'm her hardest child. So a tumor might have been easier.
Tumor she could have potentially removed.
And that should tell you a lot about my family, that's like the first Bronwyn story my family's ever started repeating. Yeah.
Did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
I was about 1 when we moved to California.
Okay.
And then we were outside of San Francisco in the East Bay. And then my dad moved again for Chevron and he was working with refineries in Europe. So we were in Amsterdam. We were in a suburb of Amsterdam in Wassenaar. And I was there for a part of elementary, middle school, and then back to the same house in the East Bay in California for high school and everything. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cultured, world traveled.
I mean, the suburbs of San Francisco are not real hard of a place to grow up. Yeah. But a little stint in Amsterdam. My siblings were all in high school and everything, so they probably saw more than I did.
Okay.
Do you have to speak any other languages?
So we took Dutch. We went to an American school in Holland, but we had to take Dutch. And honestly, I've been pretty high maintenance and fussy since birth. So I was not up for the gutturalness of the language. I wouldn't say I was like deeply invested in the second grade and learning Dutch.
You've always been fancy.
Always been fancy Nancy. Okay. Yes. My parents tell this story. When we moved to Holland, I had this whole outfit on. I was moving to a new school in the middle of the school year, like a little plaid skirt and a matching beret. The shoes matched. And this kid in my class told our teacher in front of my parents, oh, we have ourselves a real California babe. And they, like all the adults thought this was hysterical.
Sure.
And I was so mad. I was like, obviously this is a French look. Like whether or not I'm from California, this moron.
Duh.
This is a beret.
It's a beret,
You know, like I've
bitch.
always been that bitch for sure. Yeah. Brittany had no chance. Second graders had no chance. I have no chill about my outfits.
Oh my God, that's funny.
We love that. In adulthood, did you did you go to college, not go to college?
Yeah, I went to BYU,
Went to BYU,
super
okay.
unsuccessfully, or really successfully, depending on. I got kicked out.
You got kicked out?
I got kicked out of BYU.
Here.
Yeah.
For what? Did you hook up with a boy?
Well, I mean, I
Plagiarizing.
left pregnant, so yes on that. But pretty much,
Did he also get kicked out?
No,
Sexist.
That is so fucked up.
it's.
That's fucked up.
I mean, I hear things are different there. I'd be surprised. No, he did not. The list of things I didn't get kicked out for is probably shorter than the list of things I did. I tried to throw like mini sorority parties. I made this one guy who wanted to go on a date with me buy me a pet chick, which apparently you're not allowed to have a dyed pink baby chick in your apartment. I had hundreds of parking tickets. At BYU, you have to wear certain clothes to go in the testing center. And I would push that boundary every time.
The testing center.
Yeah. So like when you go to take a test or turn in a paper, you don't take it in class. You go to a they used to have like a center that proctored the tests for you, and you had to be clean shaven, no unnaturally dyed hair, shorts or skirt to the knee, fully covered shoulder. So yeah, I'd come in like a unitard, and be like, "Can I not take my test like this?" Like,
sorry.
I just
And
such
did you
an
go to
asshole.
BYU? Are you part of Mormonism? Am I saying it right? The Church of Latter-day Saints?
Yeah. So my parents are.
Your
My
parents.
parents, when my parents moved to the US, they met a couple. My mom worked at a bank, and the teller next to her husband worked with my dad, and they were a Mormon couple. So they introduced my parents to each other and to the Mormon church.
Okay.
So that couple is a really big deal in my parents'
Okay.
Yeah.
My parents are still Mormon. My dad worked for the church when I was at BYU. So he was so proud of me getting kicked out. My siblings don't listen to podcasts. I'll just fully put them on blast. My siblings definitely don't care about it, but pretend to my parents that they do.
Okay.
I'm fully not Mormon anymore. Obviously, Big Daddy Todd drinks wine by the gallon. And we lived together before we got married. And I'd already had Gwen years before the jig was up. Yeah.
How did you meet Todd?
There's a place in San Francisco called The Battery. It's like a Soho house. And we were both having lunch alone in the middle of the week. And he was talking to me. And I totally thought he was a bullshitter. Everything out of his mouth was like so extravagant and so over the top and really funny. And I sat there all afternoon and talked to him. And then he invited me to go to Mexico with him. He was building a house in Mexico. And I was like, oh, this is how you end up in a bathtub full of ice, with no kidneys.
Yeah.
You wake up just like, I hope it was worth it. So I didn't go to Mexico with him. We did other dates first. And when I trusted him, then I went to Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
You open up obviously about Gwen and her and their father and his family and all of that. I feel like we're kind of getting a little bit more into that as the episodes go on. But if you wouldn't mind, I would like to pull a little bit more out of you.
Of course. Yeah, of course. There's always a fine line of telling my story and not telling Gwen's, and definitely not veering into her family's.
Well, it's also
we could explore that line.
You're not in charge of what's edited and what's put into these shows. So, I guess we don't know as audience how much you do say and how much makes it into the final cut.
I'll go against the grain and say, I think the producers and editors do a really fair job. I don't know who else says they don't. I know that's always like people regret things they've done on TV and then try to say, oh, I was edited badly. If it came out of my mouth, they should play it for sure.
I love that you say that. Yeah.
Love that. Okay. So was this your boyfriend in college?
Yeah. Okay. So even from there, see, this is going to be a disaster of a story to tell. I thought he was my boyfriend. When I found out I was pregnant, he was shocked that I thought he was my boyfriend. There was definitely other girls he was seeing. So it's a lot to process at once. Though, right?
Classic situationship. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know in 2005 were situationships like that wasn't a hashtag.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing yet.
No, and definitely not in Provo, Utah.
So wow. So you found out you're pregnant and you found out that your boyfriend was not your boyfriend.
He was not serious about me.
He's not serious about you.
No.
So you open up and you kind of say like him and his family were very much like, this is not something we want to do.
Yeah.
Your family was on board or not on board?
Not on board. My family has done a really beautiful job from the beginning of supporting Gwen and the baby I was going to have, but not necessarily being proud of maybe the choices I'd made, which at the time felt like a really hard line for me that they couldn't find a way to be supportive of me, but they were really upset with the choices I'd made in the situation I found myself in, for sure.
I do appreciate that in a way of like being able to separate the two.
Yes.
And not putting all of that blame on this unborn child. That,
yes. And my parents have, I should know, 16 or 17 grandkids. Gwen's definitely their favorite. Gwen's definitely the closest one with them, even though she was born under these auspicious circumstances. They've done a really beautiful job, especially when I first had Gwen. My mom didn't want me to have a baby shower, no celebrating what Bronwyn's done kind of a thing. But when I had Gwen on a Monday and I went to work on Wednesday, I was a single mom. Yeah. I went to work on Wednesday. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What was your job?
I worked in finance at the time. Yeah. And a lot of it is kill or be killed for sure. Somebody else would have wanted that spot if I wasn't going to go. I hadn't been there long enough to have this big maternity leave, whatever. So my parents weren't they were never going to give me money. But if I needed someone to watch Gwen, they would have watched Gwen.
That says so much about you.
It's
the fact that you went to work 2 days after the fact.
Yeah, I had Gwen Monday morning. I went home from the hospital Tuesday. I stopped to pick up some clothes that had been being altered on my way home. Gwen has been baby on the go since the beginning. She went on an errand with me on her way home from the hospital. And I went to work Wednesday morning. Yeah.
Well, because obviously a part of your storyline has been gold digger kind of vibes and things like that. And, now we find out we're talking to a woman who went to work 2 days after she had a baby.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't curing cancer. I wasn't changing the world.
You were surviving.
But I was paying for everything for my child, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to get out of bed right after you have a baby. So to even get up and go to work is huge.
Yeah, there's a lot of motivation when it's just you.
Yeah.
When it's just you and somebody else is depending on you. And there's this huge shadow from I've had Gwen on everything I do of, is a single mom good enough? Could I do this by myself? There was a lot for me to prove in choosing to keep Gwen and to raise her by myself. And that has really motivated and dictated a lot of my choices. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I bet.
When you met Todd, how did you break the ice in terms of being a single mother?
So Gwen has actually been the greatest deal breaker for me ever. I mean, I was 19 when I had Gwen, and she weeded every asshole out from the jump. Sure. I mean, anybody in my age range up until she was, 6, 7 years old was not interested in somebody with a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, that kind of a thing. And it was really easy when I was dating people to be like, they're a lot of fun or they're really sexy or whatever, but they're not getting up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday to take her for donuts or sitting through a swim lesson on a Wednesday night, that kind of a thing. Todd was totally different. He was like, oh, I see how this has really shaped you as a person. So much of the choices you make are about providing for this child and making sure she's really well taken care of. And it was never this question of, was he going to accept Gwen or not? Between the two of them, it was always super easy. Gwen and I now joke that Todd is like boss baby. He was never actually a child who was sticky or ran around and played with his friends. Like I always picture Todd at 6 in a suit, giving a word presentation to his dad about his allowance, Todd's real serious.
We can tell.
Yeah. Todd's no nonsense. Don't fuck with Todd. Oh, I should have asked what I can say
swear.
on here.
Yeah.
Great.
Shit balls.
Okay, I'm in a good company.
Yes.
Okay. Andy was beeping me and getting real mad on Watch What Happens Live, so I have to make sure.
Well, that's, television.
Live TV. Yeah. We have some moms who are like, I'm trying to listen to this in the car with my kids. Can we slow down on the F-bombs? And we're like, yeah, we're so fucking sorry. I mean, sorry.
I love that.
Yeah.
Welcome to new media.
There we go. I always kind of worried how they would relate to each other. And actually, I find myself being the odd one out more and more. Gwen and Todd are very close. They're kind of the same person. And they both really are stuck in my shit. So they really have bonded almost from the jump. Yeah.
How old was Gwen when Todd came into her life?
She was just turning 8.
Okay.
Because I still was taking Gwen to church at that point. I was still taking Gwen to Mormon church. So Gwen got baptized in the Mormon faith. And you do that at 8. And that was the first time Todd met my whole family. It was when it came to Gwen's baptism.
Oh, wow.
Which was a wild ride.
How old were you and how old was he when you guys met?
Okay, so I would have been 27 and Todd would have been, I'm trying to think back, Todd would have been 54, 55.
What's the age gap?
We're 26 years apart. Yeah.
Nick and I are 18.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so you're in good company.
It's kind of cute.
We love an age gap.
I love an age gap too. It does, lovably, it does put me in a weird position. Everyone thinks I'm a gold digger. Everyone thinks, I suck dick for bags. Todd's stodgy. I'm going to push him around Anna Nicole Smith style in his wheelchair one day. The jokes kind of write themselves.
Yeah. I was child bride. I was
not child bride.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never gotten that. I guess I don't look as young as you.
What the fuck, guys?
Give it time. Give it time. Bro.
I got to get that Utah Botox going and then maybe I'll get child bride. Yeah. It works for us.
Can you next, if any of the ladies go lean into this whole you suck dick for whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Can you just be like, bitch, I went to work 2 days after I had a baby. What were you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Lisa
True.
can't even
Fair
fly.
point.
Lisa can't even fly coach.
I mean.
Did you fly coach here?
I did not fly coach here. But I flew in the bulkhead and I almost hate that as much as I hate coach.
Okay.
I don't like when I don't have all my stuff with me. What if I need chapstick? What if I have to plug something in?
True.
I feel real antsy when my stuff is in the overhead.
You're really rich. You have wealth.
I mean,
and you are down
enunciate the points everyone else would make. My husband is
whatever
really
the fuck.
rich.
No, you're
married.
You're married.
We're married.
You
It's
don't
your
have a
money
prenup.
too.
A lot of people ask
And you
about
don't have
this.
a prenup.
We do not have a prenup, and it's not like, oh, we don't have a prenup because we have a postnup. We don't have a postnup either, and it's not like, oh,
That's
we don't
tough.
have a pre or postnup because he has trust. No, it's all mutual. It's all shared.
Yeah, so you're rich.
Yeah.
You're rich.
You're so rich.
I'm gonna sugar baby somebody one day.
Hell yeah, you
Or sugar mama?
Sugar
What is
mama.
it? Yeah.
You're gonna sugar mama.
We're gonna flip the script on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Season 17. Bronwyn has a 26-year younger lover. Yeah, here we go.
I've known you for a few minutes. I already can tell you're pretty down to earth.
I went to work 2 days after I had a baby
exactly.
and everyone was calling me a whore at the Mormon church. Like, I've seen some things.
And Lisa pretends to be wealthy.
Oh, shade.
Well, you know her better than we
She
know her.
cashes those Wendy's checks.
Do you disagree with me?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
No.
Does Lisa
Lovably
know
no.
you're on this podcast? Did you give her a heads up?
Yeah. Did you get permission?
Did you get
Okay, so
permission?
this podcast and Lisa are not friends.
Yeah.
And
You guys
listen.
started. See, if only I'd known you guys before I started filming. I walked in not knowing that your podcast was destroying this friend group.
All because Whitney said she thinks Lisa's a villain.
But
Yeah.
I think
Who would've thought?
I'm okay now because then Lisa went on TV and called me a villain. So is this
true.
podcast your
And she
game?
thinks you're two-faced.
But
And she thinks
Lisa,
I'm too
I don't think
faced.
Lisa sees anyone's perspective other than Lisa's.
Yeah, Lisa definitely has Lisa color goggles, not rose color goggles or
Yeah.
glasses or whatever we want to call them. And honestly, good for her. If I could live in a world in which what I say went 100% of the time and no one checked me and no one questioned me, I would kind of love that.
What do you mean no one's checking her? Are we the only ones?
I mean, I'm trying. Do you not see that?
That's a good question. How does it feel? Like we have a perception of you. I don't
Okay.
read your comments. I don't go on the blogs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I feel like I have a
You
pretty
should.
good.
They're nasty.
Yeah. But I think I have a pretty good read of like the world and life and
Okay.
what's going and what
Okay.
people are saying. And again, I think you're pretty beloved. I think
Oh.
you're overall really appreciated as a new housewife.
Thank you.
Does Bravo give like awards at BravoCon or something? Do they have
I've
like
never been
new
to
housewife of
BravoCon.
the
I
year?
don't know.
You know, like because you should win it.
We should create it. We should start it.
It'll
Maybe
be
Todd will do a
NV
scholarship
Media
for new
Viall House
housewives.
Award, the new housewife of 2024.
Thank you. It's I mean, we still have a long way to go. You could hate me.
No, I mean,
Who knows what's
I
to
don't,
come?
I don't hate people. I might talk some shit. I don't know.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
We might talk shit.
That's
That's
fine.
it. But that is the thing is like we do not know Lisa. We've never met Lisa.
Okay. Okay.
So all we know about her is what the
We watch
show
on TV.
edits her to be.
Yeah.
So we always say we reserve the right to be wrong about these people. We're talking
Sure.
about characters on TV
yeah,
shows.
of course.
So
I mean, we had a bit of fun with your like only 3 people own this garbage bag.
Oh man, the things I've
We did,
learned.
yeah.
The things I've learned. Not garbage bag. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't catch
whoa.
that the first go around. Garbage bag.
But what was it? A heart or something?
It was a heart shape.
yeah, garbage bag.
Oh my
Garbage
God.
bag.
Rihanna is
That's
quaking.
how Rihanna and I
Sorry.
became friends.
Yeah,
Like, that could
the
be
fuck?
a bag of dog shit for all I care if it got me into Rihanna.
I mean, speaking of dog shit, did you know there was dog
Oh.
shit in
Yeah.
your house?
Did you get set up?
Oh my gosh, the dog poop. Okay, I mean, I have a lot of dogs.
You have a lot of
I have
dogs.
a lot of dogs.
Yeah, but are you filthy?
I'm not filthy.
What did you get set up?
I wouldn't say I got set up. It was a perfect storm. It was a perfect storm.
You were talking to Heather.
The cameras
dog
are in my
shit,
house.
someone-
I was anxious about Heather. I'd also called Lisa on FaceTime that day. I'd had a very long FaceTime with Lisa, really trying to like make sure she was comfortable coming. It was snowing outside. My dogs don't want to go out when it's snowing. I had a puppy. We could make all the excuses. Ultimately, my dogs got caught with their pants down. There was dog shit in my house.
But to be
They
clear,
couldn't film it if it wasn't there.
you're not normally just leaving dog shit around your house.
No, me and my dogs do not utilize the floor as a restroom
Okay.
on a regular basis. No.
Would you pick that up yourself or do you have some?
Yes.
Okay.
I pick it up myself.
Thank you. I was
Yeah. I
like,
just wanted to be
Bronwyn
clear.
is the type that she
I
would pick that up herself.
I pick
She's
it up
not
so much I
waiting.
could tell you which cleaner works and which cleaner doesn't work. And in a way grosser vein, I can tell you which dog it is.
Ooh.
If there is a dog poop or pee in my house, I can tell you which
Do you
dog
have
it
a
is.
more naughty dog?
Yeah.
The puppy, I'm sure, right?
The puppy is not my naughtiest. I have 2 boys who are brothers. They have the same mom but different litters. She was bred over and over and over. And we ended up with 2 runs from 2 different litters that weren't sellable that we rescued. And the 2 of them are the naughtiest. There's something about that mom.
My gosh. And they're like brothers,
not
so they're
producing
teaming
good
up. They're
boxers.
like,
They
let's be naughty
do.
together.
Yeah, and they are kind of our opposites. One's like real skinny and high strung, and one's like a beefcake and just kind of lovably dopey.
Yeah.
But they are my 2 hardest. Yeah.
Mary from our team is dying to know why you named your dogs all the House of Cards characters.
Oh my gosh. So you can't do anything because it'll always bite you in the ass later.
Mhm.
When we rescued our first dog and his name was Bo, and he was this badass half, boxer mix, and he just had this like gangly underbite, little snaggle tooth, and he just was too tough to be a Bo.
Yeah.
And my husband loved House of Cards at the time, pre-Kevin Spacey scandal.
Yes, of course.
Side note.
Clarification.
Editor's note, Bronwyn did not know what was to come.
Yeah.
And at that
Too
point,
late
maybe
to
it
change
felt-
the dog's
felt a little
names.
mean to change the dog's name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we named him Francis. Yeah. And then He was really quirky. He had a lot of dog. He like was scared of other dogs and he'd been abused. And we lived in this condo in San Francisco and it was just this disaster trying to have him out and about on the street in San Francisco. And somebody gave us our dog Claire as a puppy, thinking if he had a friend, he would call like an emotional support dog for my dog. And of course, when we had two, they had to be Frank and Claire. And then it just spiraled out of control since then. Yeah.
Okay,
Dog
valid.
7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe we'll do Succession. Who from Succession is going to let me down now? You know?
Somebody. Hopefully not, but you give it enough time. They always do.
We're kind of jumping all around here, but I do want to go back and I want to, yes, I just want to, obviously, the father of your daughter passed away.
Yes.
You found out via Facebook?
Via Facebook's, a mutual friend had just reposted his obituary.
And
it just came up in my timeline as I was scrolling.
What was that initial feeling?
I think I was so surprised. He was young at the time and we had no contact. So it's very shocking. And it feels like an abrupt stop, right? To break up with somebody, to not see them. I always had this idea in the back of my mind that he and Gwen would have a relationship in the future. I didn't have a paradigm in which her dad would never have a relationship with her. I think I really have had a lot of therapy at that point and continuing since then. And I always felt like maybe he wasn't ready for responsibility then. Maybe he told some untruths to hide himself at that point, and it was really hard. It's always hard to take that first step in the right direction when you've been going the wrong direction. But I thought it was coming. So this felt like a brick wall, right? We're never going to fix it now. And just so much sadness for Gwen. She was very little at the time. I mean, this is... Okay, I'm going to be really honest. And also a little bit of relief for myself. Like I never have to share her. We never have to do this custody thing. I know that sounds really awful, but I'm putting myself on reality television. I'm putting myself on your podcast. I'm going to be honest with you. It's tricky to share custody with someone. It's tricky to share custody with somebody you don't like.
And especially someone who just gave up on you and the baby.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think when you are raising a child by yourself, I'm not speaking to everybody. Me raising a child by myself, I think I always felt like he was going to come in one day and be the cool dad and like swoop in and like want to fix it. And she's going to be so grateful to have him. I'm going to be like, what?
Yeah.
What about all the times I was here when it's hard? And that's so selfish, but it's a real feeling.
That's valid.
It's a real feeling. Yeah.
You can tell Todd seems to be very protective of that whole situation.
Yes, he is. When I met Todd, I was super in a great place about it. Gwen and I had been together for a long time, just the two of us. It was all she knew. And we were fine. And shortly after Todd and I got engaged, I did have contact with his family. And like a big thing kind of came out with them. And Todd watched me go through that whole process then of were they going to meet her then and how upsetting this was to me. And when that didn't work out, that I really shouldered the responsibility of telling Gwen it wasn't going to work out, you know, and all those kind of things. And I think Todd is still to this day incredibly protective that not happen again to me or Gwen. Ultimately, I think Todd wants what's best for both of us. And that's also a tricky thing to hold too. What's best for me and what's best for Gwen are probably different in this scenario.
Yeah.
That feels like an impossible conversation to have with Gwen. When did you tell her and how did you tell her?
I've been telling Gwen since she was little. Since she was a baby, we used all the grown-up words for everybody's anatomy, and she called adults by their first names. And I mean, she grew up with a single mom who was not ready to be a parent. I made a lot of mistakes, but I just always told her from the very beginning, even when she couldn't understand, super little, when we'd talk about moms and dads or whatever at 2 and 3 years old, and I'd say, and you have a daddy who's not alive, and he wasn't here when mommy had you. And and I always felt like if it wasn't a shock, it couldn't be hurtful. And that's something I really had to learn later as Gwen grew up, is that it's always hurtful. No matter how you were told, no matter how a part of your DNA it is, there's nothing I was ever going to do that was going to make up for that absence. Yeah. There is no right way to handle that.
Yeah. Sure.
Wayfair is an online retailer that sells a variety of home goods, including furniture, decor, lighting, and kitchenware, even your office, because that's how we did it here at NV Media. It's so satisfying to get great deals on things your home actually needs, especially when the holidays are right around the corner. Wayfair is the place to shop for all things home. Everything from sofas to spatulas, you name it, they have it. They also have styles you can't find anywhere else. No, not the cookie cutter stuff that everyone else has. That way you can make your home more you. Right now, you can shop Wayfair's insane holiday deals. Get up to 70% off. You heard that right. That's 70% off during their Black Friday deals. Wayfair is the go-to destination for everything home, no matter your style or budget. Earn rewards and get the best savings in the neighborhood With Wayfair's new loyalty program, 5% back on every item across Wayfair's family of brands, free shipping, members-only sales, and more. Terms apply. They have a huge selection of home goods ranging from appliances and area rugs to beds and wall art. It's amazing what you can do at Wayfair. You can do it all and make your home exactly the way you want it at a price you will love. Don't miss out on saving big with Wayfair this holiday. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday deals. That is wayfair.com, Wayfair.com, wayfair.com. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. Well, people, listen, we all have those people in our lives that you feel like they kind of have it all. It's like, I want to get someone something thoughtful, something unique. Well, that's where Uncommon Goods comes in. This busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Uncommon Goods scour the globe for original, handmade, absolutely remarkable things. Somehow, they know exactly the perfect gift for every single person you know. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, they're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out-of-the-ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selection you could find just anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. Even for your jewelry lovers out there, there's some really unique pieces you can find at Uncommon Goods. It's truly amazing. The selection that they have in the unique pieces you can get this holiday season for the people you love most in your life. Get 15% off your next gift. Go to uncommongoods.com/VIALL. That is uncommongoods.com/VIALL for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Stop having to lug around those big, heavy laundry detergent containers from wherever you're getting them from. It's time to check out Laundry Sauce. This podcast is sponsored by Laundry Sauce. Laundry Sauce created the world's best smelling laundry detergent in simple use pods. Laundry Sauce has transformed doing laundry into a luxurious and exciting experience. You will never have to dread laundry day ever again. So what's the secret sauce behind Laundry Sauce? Well, they've partnered with one of the top fragrance houses in the world, the same team behind many of your favorite designer scents. From Australian sandalwood to Egyptian rose to Siberian pine, laundry day will never smell the same again. Laundry Sauce was started back in 2021 by a team who were bored by the boring scents of the detergent aisles. So they sought out the world's #1 fragrance house to bring beautiful, complex aromas made from high-quality natural ingredients and put them in a powerful stain-fighting laundry pot. Laundry Sauce has some of the most authentic reviews you have ever read. After using Laundry Sauce for the first time, a reviewer named Sarah said, "BRB crying over laundry detergent." And it's not just pods. Laundry Sauce makes scent boosters, dryer sheets, dryer balls, fabric softeners, and even candles too. Plus, if you aren't happy, send back Laundry Sauces for a full refund. We love that they stand behind the product. No questions asked. Nope. They believe in it that much. Now it's time for you to elevate your laundry ritual with Laundry Sauce. Head to laundrysauce.com/VIALL and use promo code VIALL at checkout for 15% off. That's the best offer you'll find, but you must use my code VIALL for 15% off your order. One more time, that's laundrysauce.com/VIALL. Promo code VIALL for 15% off. So how did you end up as a housewife? When did that process start?
I mean, how did I not end up at that? Like, was this always going to happen for me? I mean,
yes, you do
how are
seem
you
like
not
you
on
were meant
season
to
one?
be.
I mean,
but
I'm a
like,
disaster.
but
Dressed in a red heart for delusionally saying I'm one of 3 people who have it. Like,
But
I was
it's-
made for this in a sick way.
But it didn't sound like you were watching as a fan, right? You had to go back and
I
watch.
mean, I am a Bravo fan. And
Okay.
I'm a Housewives fan.
You were.
I was not a Salt Lake
You were
Housewives
sleeping
fan.
on Salt
I was
Lake?
sleeping on Salt Lake. I had talked about it at different points, and I knew Lisa outside of the show, before the show, and I knew Meredith socially in Park City, and I love a lot of the places that I would see them on social media going and acting like idiots. You know, like, I love Valters. You know, don't make Valter mad. Like, I respect and love Valter. So I just always felt like it was too close to home.
Right.
And especially as the show started airing, the Lisa I knew wasn't the Lisa that maybe other people were talking about. And
Interesting.
it felt like when I saw her, I didn't want to always talk about the show. I wanted us to just be friends. And Todd definitely didn't want to talk about the show. When like Todd and John and Lisa and I would go to dinner, Todd would have like 5 minutes worth of show talk. And then
this is before you were
before I was on the show. Okay. Yeah.
It seems to us and the audience that Todd really got dragged into this.
1,000%.
And fucking hates it.
1,000%. No, he doesn't hate it. I mean, I hate it for him now. No, Todd is really supportive of what I want to do, but we are very different people.
Clearly, Todd's supportive.
Yeah.
Because,
he's showing up. He's doing it. Yeah.
He's here. He went to Palm Springs. He paid for Palm Springs. I mean, like, it's, Todd really supports what I want to do. Todd is wonderful in that he wants nothing to do with what I want to do, but he loves it for me. I think he would love it from a little more far if he could.
Well, I mean, how did he get dragged into not only loving it for you, but he's a pretty big part of this season, compared to some of the other husbands in the franchise, so to speak.
I mean, I would say nagging works because that's kind of my MO usually about our relationship is if I just ask enough times, Todd will do it. But in this case, it was much more organic than that. I really went on this season, not with an idea of who I wanted to portray myself as, but definitely with things in mind that I wanted to film. I do a lot of charity work in Salt Lake. My daughter is turning 18. My husband still really works. I really kind of wanted to showcase what I was really going through at the time, which was what's my next act? Like, what do I do with the rest of my life? And really quickly, this revelation with Lisa, knowing my daughter's family came up, my friendship with Lisa struggles. I did find it hard to integrate in this group of friends. And so you see Gwen and Todd getting brought in a way that I really didn't plan for them to. But I'm very clear that I said I would do this. And I was going to film what was really happening. And that's what ended up really happening.
Yeah, you've been very authentic. What conversations have you had to have with Todd while filming that were kind of unexpected, given that because what you're saying seems very true. It seems you are very committed to being an authentic housewife. There's an expectations of what
I kind of wish I wasn't so committed to that. Like, it'd be awesome if I had had this pre-planned persona that would have shielded my real self a little bit from this.
That's why, listen, it's hard. Like, we can be critical of our reality TV stars because we watch it, and this show is kind of covers it like we cover sports, We have our favorites, we have the people we root for, people we root against, but it is not easy to do what y'all do, to bring your lives onto the TV screen and show that authenticity.
It's easier to film it than it is to watch it back. I'll tell you that.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. It's not easy. But nevertheless, despite even your husband feeling uncomfortable with this, you have been very committed to this. Has it caused any friction in your relationship with Todd?
It has. I'm going to be honest with you. It has. Of course. I don't want to be micromanaged, and I don't micromanage Todd. And I don't with Gwen either. They are allowed to be whoever it is that they want to be. I've worked really hard to get to a place of Todd could pretty much tell me anything. And I don't know if we'd stay together, but I'd still respect him. We'd still be friends. We'd have a really honest, cool conversation about it at all times. I love Todd enough that I don't think there's anything he could tell me that I couldn't handle. Again, I don't know how it would change, how we went forward. And I think that Todd feels that way about me. So I didn't prepare him, which now obviously everyone is upset with me about after Palm Springs. You really got...
When you say everyone, are you talking about fans? You're talking about your peers?
Both. Okay. Both. I think the response to Todd has been a little bit of does this man not know he's on camera on Housewives? What does he think they're not going to argue? That kind of thing. That's really what Todd thought. He knew John and Lisa outside the show.
But why are they mad about that?
I don't know. I'm not mad about it. I see what people are saying, and it has caused some really amazing conversations for Todd and I. Watching other people's perspective of your relationship is an interesting thing. I'm not going to say that it's going to make a ton of changes in our relationship. What it feels like to us is more important than what it looks like to other people.
100%.
But you also can't deny what it looks like if everyone sees it that way. So we have talked, and Todd could be softer when he talks to me. Yeah. I could stand up for myself a little bit more.
Because that's what, what it looks like, just an elephant in the room, is that,
you can say it. Yeah.
He's older.
Yeah.
He's a very powerful, rich, wealthy man.
Of course. Yeah.
You're younger. You have this very demure, very classy way about you.
Until the ladies and I get into it. That goes right out the window.
And there's been just a couple scenes that we've seen where Todd's laying down what appears to be the law.
Yeah.
And you're very kind of like Bambi-eyed, like, okay, daddy.
Yeah. Not okay, daddy.
But you get what I'm saying.
I do.
Is that just Todd being direct and curt, and then we're just seeing a snapshot? We're just seeing a scene without a lot of context, because it does seem like going forward, there may be a storyline from the other women trying to poke holes in your relationship with Todd. And maybe
the trailer
even
does make it look that way for
does,
the second half of the season. You gotta see. We gotta see. No, I can speak about Todd and I. Of course I can. Todd and I are very, very different people. I mean, literally everything about us is different. I handle things in a way that's very different than Todd. I'd rather just say it straight out and talk about it and be real, not aggressive, but very direct. And Todd is also direct, but Todd takes a minute to be in a place to hear somebody else. I love you, Todd. Todd's never gonna listen to this. I can say whatever I want. Todd will tell me how he feels, and I know he needs a minute till he's ready to hear how I feel. So when you see Todd kind of laying down the law, as you said, and I do the Bambi thing, I didn't realize I was doing that. But that's really me giving Todd a very clear indicator. I've heard how he feels. I've respected it. I've accepted it. I'm processing it. I'm going to take it in. And I know when Todd is ready for me to respond.
Yeah.
It's not that I never do. Okay. But can the cameras sit there all day while Todd, has a refractory period and then I get, I'm ready to go? No, of course not. So it's not anybody editing us weird. It's that's our process.
Well, another thing, when we were picking you up at the airport to do our little bit. Thanks for playing along, by the way.
Of course.
Leia and
who knew I loved an airport bit,
right? Come on.
Leia and Justin and I were kind of talking about you and Todd and what we watched. We watched last night's episode, and I pointed out to them, I was just like, well, whatever's going on in their relationship, Bronwyn's on her way here to record with us.
Yeah.
She's still very much leaning into being a housewife. They've already filmed.
Yeah.
So clearly Bronwyn is still being a housewife, and she's still, you know what I'm saying? So for anyone...
I'm not shying away from interviews.
Exactly, right.
Todd and I are going to Vegas together tonight for press.
So for anyone suggesting that Todd, who we can tell clearly hates this whole thing, is somehow in charge of you and you have no agency, well, that clearly can't be true because you're still very much being a housewife. You're still here talking about it.
Todd was on the phone with me when I came out a baggage claim, and I was like, I have to go. Someone is dressed as a dog. My life is complete. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you kind of almost have to think past the character that is Bronwyn on Housewife.
It's not for everyone, but Todd and I have a relationship that works for us. I totally understand who Todd is. I understand how to talk to him. I understand how he talks to me. I do see what it looks like. I'm not immune to the criticism and the commentary and all of those things. I hear it and I see it. And Todd and I watched this episode together. And at first he was like, is that what everybody's mad about? And I was like, okay, I'm going to hold your hand while we talk about this. That is what everybody's mad about. And it's fair. Yeah. It does look like you're, telling me what to do and all these kind of things. And there is room for him to be softer and to hear my side of things more. There is also room for me not to be a hot mess that spirals out of control. Todd does know me very well. And I think a lot of the times when you see Todd kind of being like, no, we're not going to do this, is because Todd knows, like, cue the ambulance, the lights, like Bronwyn's going to have a full meltdown. And I also know myself well enough. And that scene in Palm Springs, not full meltdown, but when it comes up about Gwen's family, right? You see me real there. Like I'm just going to tell you right now so you can watch it with the rest of the season. If I'm playing with my fingers, if I'm touching my chest, if my hand is over my face, I am freaking out internally. 1,000%. Okay. I'm a very twitchy person when I'm upset. And there's also a lot of like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So-and-so didn't mean to do that. And I did it first. And like, you see that over explaining start. And that's when Todd was like, nope, we're not doing this. He knew I was uncomfortable.
I honestly,
in his own way, Todd's really protective of me.
I was telling Leia and Justin, I personally didn't have a problem with that scene. I get why he's getting the criticism.
Sure.
Anytime we see a man, especially older and powerful, who gets aggressive, it can read a certain way.
Yeah.
We understand that. But it felt like Todd, someone crossed a boundary. Here he is in this environment. There's cameras around. Things are going on. And he's just like, clearly we didn't talk, before we sat down, this was going to come up. He was caught off guard and was just like laying down a very clear boundary regardless of what people might think about him, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing about boundaries. We all love to talk about boundaries, all love to
Yes.
throw the word around, but
But they're not pretty in reality.
They're not pretty, and
No.
everyone finds them no one likes your boundary, because your boundary
No.
is you cutting off access to other people who want access to you in some sort of way, and no one likes a boundary, which is
1000%.
why it's so hard to enforce them.
Yeah. And I don't need to defend Todd, but I think when you see it the way I saw it, Todd knew that I was not going to handle that well. That I was going to make excuses. I was going to spiral. I was probably going to say something I didn't want to say. I was going to overshare. And he did not care if he was not well received at that table. If that was what was best for Gwen and I, he was going to shut that conversation down. Yeah. And Todd really stands on that. I do this thing where I'm always like, I want everyone to like me. I have a crazy aggressive mouth. I can really be a gutter mouth and I can be really eviscerating, especially if I'm upset. But then I regret it and I want people to like me and I feel so bad. And it's like this, like, where did that come from in me? I've really worked so hard to push that down and have all this therapy. Todd does not care whatsoever if people like him or not.
It's a good quality.
It's a good quality.
That is a great quality.
And it's a really good quality to be married to if you don't have it.
Yeah. It's kind of.
Do you have that?
I was about to say.
Yeah. Who's the boundary enforcer here?
Nick, 100%.
Like a fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for you. Good for you.
He makes
and good for you. You don't have to be the bad guy.
You know, 100%. He makes situations awkward where he's like, yeah, we're not doing this. And he'll walk away, or he definitely is good at drawing boundaries where I'm like, oh, sure, I'll tell you everything about me if that's what you want. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And it was also a very odd scenario in that we were not planning to discuss this on camera. The last I spoke to Gwen's family, they lived in a really teeny tiny town. They did not live by anybody I know.
So with this being out on national television, has there been another conversation?
There's been conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, there has.
Any mending?
I hope so for Gwen's sake. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think we'll explore it a little teeny bit more. I always feel gross kind of teasing Gwen's real life as a part of the show. But you will see it. And then I also hope that after that, you won't see it. I hope that it'll really just be between Gwen and them. She's big enough for that. It's hard for me not to say how upset I am with what happened for me and them and how heavy that's been. There is a part of me that feels like I've carried this secret for them for a really long time. And I still am. In my own way, I really protect their identity and who they are. And I am still, to this moment, doing that because I think that's what's right for them and it's the best version of me. So I just kind of keep my feelings about it in so that Gwen can have whatever she wants with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can Todd parallel park?
Todd can parallel park. And also, Todd is wealthy enough to buy a car that parallel parks for him. So I don't know why the rest of the cast can't get on that.
Was the necklace a little bit of dick measuring?
Of course. Yeah. I'm not going to act like it wasn't.
I love it. I mean, if you can buy your wife a $5 million necklace around a bunch of people who can, it's kind of fun.
I mean, I just always want to point out, I did not do it in front of anyone.
No,
I just wore it in front of everyone.
Yes, you did have the meeting. Off.
We did it
off
privately.
You did it privately.
We did it privately on national television.
Exactly.
Are we still not getting along with Heather?
Heather and I are better. I've always wanted to get along with Heather. I always have.
I find Heather confusing.
Oh,
I really because I
could take all the help I could get.
So I want to like Heather.
Okay.
Because I think she seems really smart. I really like her takes at times.
She's very funny.
She's very funny, but she's always living in someone's shadow. She's like, when Angie pointed out like how she knew her in high school and she always wanted to hang out with the cool kids, it was like I fully understood Heather in that moment.
I had to pause the episode. Pause the episode, change my shirt. I felt so sweaty when she said that. I was like, I don't know what happens for them after this.
Yeah.
But Heather seems like she doesn't know how to be the leader that she's capable of being.
So I didn't know if I thought that through. But also maybe I have a little sympathy for her as somebody else who's left the Mormon church. It is a hard thing to get all the way away from. And I know that Heather's really struggled with finding herself. That's my take on it. She hasn't told me that. My take on it is that she's wants to be totally free of it, but it's hard to be totally free of something you grew up in.
I'm just more talking about just like this season, she seems like Lisa's minion.
So
the previous season, it was like she was Jen Shaw's minion.
All I've known her as is very tight with Lisa. My experience with Heather, she's always been very tight with Lisa. And that did affect my friendship with Lisa. And it has affected me getting to know Heather.
Do you think it was like
it sounds like they're happy.
Yeah.
It's a happy coupling. So
was there like a jealousy there? Was it like Heather not wanting you from either side? Like,
I think I was definitely jealous. I'd known Lisa a long time. And I think it's really interesting when you add other people in the dynamic to think, did something change or were we never super close and I just didn't realize in a different setting than this? And that's something that I definitely go throughout the course of the show. I think you'll see more of that. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I have to come to terms with, is it more hurtful that you were close with somebody and it changed, or that maybe you were never that close with them to begin with?
I usually find it to be the latter.
Yeah, the latter's much more hurtful.
Because if it's so easy,
well, it's also
for them.
Oh, you think people don't
true.
really truly change? You think
I
you
think
just realize it was not right?
The
Okay,
truth
fair.
after a while. You realize sometimes. You know, Nellie and I have this conversation a lot where I'll be like, these people aren't your friends. They're not our friends.
Yeah.
You know, at first when you meet people, you hang out, people can be friendly.
Yeah.
But like, to me, friends are people who, you know, have your back in uncomfortable situations. You know,
I love,
and there's very few of those people.
Yeah. I love in Parks and Rec. Ron Swanson said once, they're not even my coworkers, they're my workplace proximity associates. And like sometimes I'm like, that is so true. Like you have friends, you have acquaintances, you have social people you know, and then you're like, that person just happens to live down the road. Right. We share a garbage man. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So is that like the most shocking realization you've had about your friendship with Lisa since filming this show? Is just kind of like, she's not who you thought she was?
I think Lisa is who she says she is. I do think that. I don't think Lisa's pretending anything. I think Lisa is who she says she is.
That. Yeah.
I think I knew her in a different setting. We were much more social friends, and that's okay.
You have more data points now.
I have, yeah. And you know what? Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe as she got to know me better, she didn't like me.
Well, I believe that too.
Wouldn't that be tricky?
Well, I believe that only because
be
I feel like, well, from what I'm hearing from
I'm not going to blame Lisa. I could definitely be the villain. I mean, she said so. Who knows?
She did.
Well,
she did.
in her mind, I see it. But like, you know, it sounds like you guys were like casual friends, acquaintances, knew each other, you were friendly. But now you're sharing literally the spotlight, you know, and you don't back down and you don't get in line, so to speak. And I think very much Lisa expected you to get into your place.
Yeah, I don't back down.
Yeah.
And I think Lisa's son knew my daughter. They had spent time together, and Lisa and I had done a lot of social things together, and she knew Todd. And I think in the same way that in that little preview, Todd's like, I've never seen you behave this way. Todd absolutely knows my mouth is ruthless. He's just never seen me yell it in a hot tub. And I don't think maybe Lisa had either. And that's a new thing to realize about somebody, is that there's only so far I can push them before they come back. Mm-hmm. And I can't deal with the way they come back. And I already said on this episode with you guys, I didn't even know that my baby daddy was seeing other people. Yeah. Like maybe I misread situations. I thought he and I were together. I thought Lisa and I were much closer. So maybe it's me.
I mean, Todd did say that her tequila brand is mediocre.
Todd did say that.
What do you think?
Are you? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an expert. I didn't grow up drinking. I'm Mormon. What would I know? Wow. But I do know that Todd does not like it. Yeah.
It seems like he has good taste.
Todd has great taste.
Hello, obviously.
Hello. Yeah.
$5 million diamond necklace. Hello.
I mean, I was waving it myself.
Well, yes, that too.
Did you know that we have the Seattle, Paris, Hawaii Starbucks cups?
Oh, good for you guys.
We started collecting them for like a week, and then we're like, we already have 5 and we can't keep them.
What are you going to do with them?
Where else are we going to put them?
I had to make a whole, our old house in Austin, we had a whole cabinet for them. And then Todd loved it.
I thought you were going to say we bought a house for them.
We bought a house for them in Austin. Todd has to go to Austin to have coffee. No, and then I had to put one in this house. We have a wall of mugs at the end of my kitchen.
How is he choosing his coffee cup each morning? Is he like, today
Sometimes he's real fussy about it.
Really?
Yeah, and he loves to come in and be like, do you know why I picked this mug? And I'm like, I don't care. If you need coffee, if it's early enough that you need coffee, I don't care what the process, what mug you picked.
Does Todd have a little bit of a naughty, kinky side?
Of course.
Because it seems like...
How do you think we've stayed together all this long?
Did y'all answer the favorite sexual position question?
Of course we did.
Y'all did?
Yeah.
It was all of them.
Todd
right?
laughed, and you could tell him like this
yeah, of
this
course.
guy likes to get a little naughty. You
I got kicked out of BYU. What do you think Todd's doing with me? Yeah, who doesn't? I picked this man up at the airport in costumes. I mean, we don't use them later. But we are both weird.
Hard.
For sure. Yeah, the inflatables are not lending to any time, sexy time. No, for sure not.
It's like we would use them if we could. But.
Yeah.
All right, all you pet parents out there, it's time to think not only of yourself and whoever else you're shopping for, but make sure you're thinking of those beautiful dogs that we know and love. And you can do everything for your dog with our friends at Chewy. Chewy has everything that you need to keep your pet healthy and happy. You can shop on your schedule. Everything gets shipped right to your door. In just 1 to 2 days, it's for all pets, dogs, cats, birds, fish, reptiles, and more. Chewy is having an incredible month filled with fun and surprises. Holiday savings up to 50% off. That's 50. 24 to 48 hour flash deals, BOGOs, and so much more. Keep checking the sites to see what new deals are available so you can get something special for all the beloved pets in your life. So regardless of what kind of pet that you have, Chewy has it all for them. Whether it's great snacks that your dog will certainly love, toys, leashes, whatever. They have it all. They even have great advice that they can offer as pet parents out there. Chewy has a top-tier 24/7 customer service, and you can get expert advice over the chat or by phone, day or night. Also, they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee so that if you and your pet don't absolutely love something that you got from Chewy, you can return it within 1 year. No questions asked. That's amazing. So if you want to get maybe a toy for your favorite pet, the Lamb Chop Squeaky Plus dog toy is a favorite in our household for Jeff and Steve. They have a great selection. Check that out if you love it. I know Jeff and Steve do. So if you are tired of having to go to the pet store to pick this or that up for all your beloved pets, it's time to check out Chewy and take some of the unnecessary stresses in your holiday season out of the way and just let Chewy make your pets happier than ever before. Chewy is helping take the stress out of the holidays. Take advantage of amazing holiday savings and shop my personal favorites at chewy.com/VIALL. That is chewy.com/VIALL. Chewy.com/VIALL. Good Americans Always Fit jeans are a total game changer. Natalie loves her Good American jeans and says they make her feel confident and comfortable no matter what the day brings. Good Americans Always Fit jeans are the total game changer. Let me tell you something. Natalie is raving about her Good American jeans. She is talking constantly about how comfortable they are. I'm constantly looking and telling her how great she looks in them, but she doesn't, she's just more focused on how great she feels in them. She says these jeans will fit you like a dream. They stretch perfectly with your body, giving you room to move and breathe without ever losing their shape. This company was co-founded by Khloe Kardashian and Emma Grady with a mission to redefine fashion through inclusivity and comfort. They've created denim that feels as good as it looks, curating all the body shapes and sizes. Perfect Fit Good Americans Always Fit denim uses a one-size-fits-four design that adapts to your body's changes and fluctuations, guaranteeing the perfect fit every time. So when your body changes, your jeans won't need to. From skinny jeans to boot cuts, high-waisted to cropped, Good American offers a wide variety of styles that cater to every preference and occasion. Shop now at goodamerican.com. Promo code VIALL for $50 off your first pair. Don't forget to select podcast at checkout and choose your show to let them know we sent you. Listen, people, it's hard to find some high-quality t-shirts and some of those kind of essentials that you need in your wardrobe. That's right, I'm talking about True Classic. So when it comes to those kind of essentials that you need in your wardrobe, whether it's t-shirts, hoodies, jeans, and more, I've been counting on True Classic to get that shopping done. I'll tell you what, I've been wearing my True Classic men's t-shirts all around the house, and they've become my go-to t-shirt, whether I'm working out, going to sleep, or hanging out with friends and family. They have got a great fit. I've been loving my True Classic men's t-shirts. They make shirts that define your best feature with a perfect fit. They're snug in the arms and chest with just the right amount of room in the midsection. Personally, I love the waffle hoodie. It's the perfect comfortable layer for me now that the weather is getting a bit colder. They offer a 100% perfect fit guarantee and easy returns. We love that. And they're trusted by over 4 million customers and 200,000 plus reviews. True Classic's ultra comfortable, perfect fitting essentials make for the perfect gift for the men in your life. So if you are looking for some amazing stocking stuffers or some really just low-hanging fruit gifts that the men in your lives will fully appreciate, you head over to True Classic and get them some of those essentials they definitely need. We all know that men in your life are hanging onto those basic tees or those socks much longer than they should. Upgrade their essentials today over at True Classic. They have great deals on bundles like their staple 6-pack that comes with 6 comfortable t-shirts in 6 unique colors, all having that great fit, and feel. The holidays are here, and True Classics ultra comfortable, perfect fitting essentials make for the perfect gift for you and the men in your life. So if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now and unlock big savings during their huge holiday sale. Just go to my exclusive link at trueclassic.com/VIALL to save. That's trueclassic.com/VIALL. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. End the year with holiday cheer, thanks to True Classic.
If you had to give one word to explain each woman, let's start with Whitney.
Let's start with Whitney. I think Whitney. I want to pick the right word here. I was not prepared for this. Come back to me with Whitney. Start with someone else.
Angie.
Angie is fun. Angie's fun. Angie's all fun all the time.
She seems like such a fun character.
She's so fun. And my friendship with her is fun. Even when I watch her, Angie and I have a moment to come, you'll see. That is maybe a little shocking. But even in that, I was like, damn, it's kind of fun to fight with Angie.
Okay. Meredith
just gives me this vibe of like upper echelon. That's 2 words, but we could hyphenate them. Everything, the accents, she's very serious about her arguments. She's very serious about her outfits. Meredith is all class. I love Meredith.
The lawyer in her
I drink a smooth glass of Meredith for sure. Yeah.
Chilled.
Yeah. Ooh. Meredith and some smooth jazz. I could almost get hard for Seth if I had enough Meredith. I'll regret saying that. Mary is really sweet. I would say sweet.
Really?
Yeah, there's a real sweetness as I get to know Mary. Obviously, I mean, I live in Salt Lake. I have social media. I'd heard things. Every time I looked at Mary, she and I were both nodding, or we were both shaking our heads or rolling our eyes. Like we really kind of, everything we thought synced up. And I think Mary loves her family. And that's important to me. I think Mary can be real soft and real sweet and real vulnerable. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Heather
is just witty. The first word that comes to mind with me is witty. Look, I've taken on a bad bitch or two in my life, and Heather's a formidable opponent.
Ooh.
I like it. I want to be friends with you, Heather, but I also love fighting with you. Like, come for me again. What else do I want to do?
Mary did have a problem with you flying your friends private and then letting them fly coach.
She did, but she also finished that up by saying she would also never get them a plane. So I feel like that was like a half from Mary. Like she understood that like it was uncool for me not to fly them home private. But she also never would have done it in the first place.
It was just kind of fun to see Lisa panic.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't actually see Lisa panicking because I was not in coach.
Right. Okay, Lisa.
Lisa is authentic. I would say authentic. Love Lisa or hate Lisa. That's who Lisa is.
That's her.
She's not going to change.
Who, if any, of the housewives are misunderstood, and how are they misunderstood?
Who are misunderstood? I hate the conversation this season being about parenting. I really don't love that. I know it comes up because we're all friends and we all have kids and we all parent different ways. But I wish we could like slow up a little teeny bit on the parenting talk sometimes. I think all of them, including myself, we want to be good moms. We do our very best. And it's hard. All of us have different kids and different kids need different things. So the comparison about parenting, I would say all of us are a little misunderstood on our parenting.
It did feel a little hypocritical to me to have Angie get so upset when Lisa brings up Electra and how like you hang up the phone to be with Electra. And then for Meredith to say, you're talking about my son, Brooks, and how I'm using him at that dinner table. And for Angie to not be like, okay, you're right. Like we're not bringing up children. It did feel a little... How did that feel for you sitting right there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a topic we explore. I keep saying to everybody, as I've gone back and watched the old seasons, there's always like a Scooby-Doo of it all, right? Like, are we uncovering Jen as a criminal? Are we figuring out who Reality Von Teese is? And I kind of love that. Like, I wish we all just were Scooby-Doo for Halloween. I'll even be Scooby-Doo if I have to be the dog, just so everyone else can be a cute character. But this season, I always say, I really feel like what I hope everyone takes away is that it's much more about friendships. What you want in a friendship, what you give in a friendship, what you accept in a friendship, what it looks like to give and receive different things and want different things from someone. And I think that's a big part of friendship is, can you see something in someone else that you don't like in yourself? And still appreciate them and love them and care about them. And also, we're all delusional bitches. Yes, we're all like, I don't like when you do this, as we're doing it, you know? So, I mean, I gave Heather a pretty half-assed apology and then was like, and will you give me a real one? You know, I mean, like, we're all assholes, of course. Yeah. That's what makes it funny.
Where do you stand with Whitney? How are you guys close?
I love Whitney. Okay. I do love Whitney. I think a big thing for me on the show with these ladies, getting to know them, is I didn't really know any of them. And I think once I want to have fun with somebody or I like you, then it becomes Bronwyn's co-signed everything you've ever done or said. And that is not true. I am team nobody, not even team Todd. I'm only team Brown. No, I'm team Todd too. Team Todd and Bronwyn and like a little bit Gwen, but she's very different than me, so it's questionable.
On the mid-season tease, it suggests that Whitney reaches out to Monica.
I mean, you'll have to see.
Okay.
Who knows? I mean, do I
Have you
say
met
the truth?
Monica?
I have never met Monica.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know if I've spoken to Monica. I've received a Reality Von T's DM.
What did
But
it
it could have
say?
been anyone.
Could have been. It could be Meredith.
Could
Probably
be anyone. Could be Tanisha. Is that the hairstyle
That
name?
is.
I think so.
It could be maybe.
What did
there
it
were others
say? Was it
involved.
talking shit about someone else?
It was a video of Jen yelling at somebody, a designer, maybe a dress designer of that video, and then saying like, you should buy stuff from him and you should be good to him. And I was like, I mean, lovingly, I'm in Mexico. During COVID, my husband and I lived in our house in Mexico. And I was like, I'm just not really buying any dresses right now, but mazel, like I hope everyone's okay.
Wishing the best.
Best of luck for your employees, but no, I don't like anybody talking to anybody that way, but I was really not involved in it at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Reality Von T's of it all is still going on. They don't message me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder, I mean, it would be weird for them to continue to run this account with us knowing everyone that is behind it.
Or also
like,
kind
we
of
know it's
amazing
you,
to just keep
Monica.
going. To just keep going with
delusion.
it. I would love
Yeah.
it. So no, but I've never met her. I've never run into her. I've never seen her.
Do we have some fun fashion looks to look forward to the rest of the season?
Yes, we have a lot of fun fashion still to come. We have a real Utah moment. I hope you'll notice it when you see it. The first thing I think of when I think of Utah is soda. So there's a soda moment coming.
We learned that on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Do you
Okay.
guys ever interact with each other?
I
You
haven't
ever-
even seen it. Should I be watching Secret Lives of
It's
Mormon
pretty good.
Wives?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Somebody
Yeah.
told me a little something about Fruity Pebbles, and that's my favorite cereal. And I felt like I might be out once I heard that.
Turns out pea tastes like Fruity Pebbles, according to some Mormons.
Okay, I take it back. When I said Fruity Pebbles is my favorite cereal, that is not how I meant that.
I'm more of a Cocoa Pebbles guy.
Okay,
You know,
good to know.
We like it
I
chocolatey.
wish I didn't.
I take it you haven't had a lot of strangers comment on you or your life before. How has that been kind of opening that door?
Yeah, it's I'm a weirdo who likes it. I like the feedback. I like therapy. I like a self-help book. I'm kind of a masochist about it. I love it. It's interesting to me. I don't ignore it. I don't immediately say, "Oh, you jealous hater." No, I'm kind of like, "Ooh, does that hurt because it's true and I need to make a change, or does it hurt because it's malicious?
Okay.
And why do you want to be malicious to me?
Ooh.
Did I run over your cat? Did I date your ex-boyfriend?" Like, I like it. I like a backstory,
That's a good way to take it.
So yeah, but it's also an overwhelming amount of feedback. So I'm trying to like stand in who I am, but also be open to the idea that I need to evolve. But also I want the season to play out the way it played out. Like I don't want to start going back and trying to rewrite what happened.
Right.
There's some real selfish things that I've done and said. You're going to see them. There's some real funny things I've said. Hopefully you'll see. Don't cut the funny things out.
Yeah.
I always seem so
I think they keep
angry.
them in. You're funny. You're funny.
I think
But yeah, the commentary's wild.
The commentary's
Yeah.
good.
Who was the last of your housewives that you have hung out with post-filming?
The last person I saw was Angie.
Okay, what'd you guys do?
I saw Angie at the Humane Society Gala in Utah. Yeah. We took a picture with our daughters. We did the whole thing together. Yeah. Angie and Whitney and Brittany, shocking news, all came to my birthday party in Salt Lake City.
Ooh.
And I thought
why
you don't
not
like
the
each other.
others?
We don't. That's why I said shocking news.
Did she just like piggyback?
No,
on
I invited
some-
everyone.
Okay.
I'm an equal opportunity offender. I let everybody come.
Just not Heather? To
No, I
Palm
invited.
Springs?
Well, I've learned my lesson, obviously. Now in September, after filming, I invite everyone now. You can say whatever you want about my husband. Please come to my birthday.
You don't think Brittany is a victim of her relationship situation?
She might be.
You do think
She might be. I don't know. When we were filming, I knew very little about her relationships. So I might have been harsh about that. Yeah.
Well, why?
Because I didn't know how devastating what she's gone through. I've learned more since then.
Well, that we may not know?
I mean, I had to interact with Jared. So
Oh, yeah.
No, I get it. He's scummy.
yeah,
He
the
sucks.
worst.
But like,
yeah, the worst.
at what point is it kind of like your fault?
I don't know that
Fool
it's
me
ever,
once, fool me 13
Yeah, I don't know that it's
times.
ever your fault, but you definitely don't have to engage anymore. You definitely can
Well, I guess when I say your
leave at any
fault,
point in
it's
time.
more
Yeah.
like, at what point, are you putting yourself in a situation where the situation's very clear what the situation is?
Yeah.
And you refusing to look at it in an honest way.
I think you'll see Brittany and I talk about a ramification of that at some point. I've worked really hard to be good with my daughter. We've had a lot of ups and downs, being a parent in general, being a single parent, having a stepdad. We're very different people. And I've worked really hard to have a good relationship with her, even if that meant I needed to change. I needed to apologize. Not even if. Every time I need to apologize, I need to change. I need to find a way to relate to her in a way that makes it's the parent's responsibility to be the right parent for the child that you have. So yeah, I think it was hard for me to feel like maybe the relationships were most important to her. I wanted her to stand up a little bit, but also everyone was telling her that she didn't need me to jump in,
So what, you mentioned you were a fan of Housewives before you went on. Which franchises were you watching the most?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love old New York. Sorry, new New York
No.
girls.
No,
I like
New
you
York.
too.
New York.
needs to be
They need to shape up real quick. We're falling off.
I mean, I've yet to watch an entire New York episode all the way through. I watched the
very
clips.
bad. It's very
Yeah, you guys are the big leagues.
I love old New
It's
York.
like-
I like the Beverly Hills Girls a lot. I've watched everything of that from the beginning.
Okay.
I love Potomac. I'm
Sweet, yeah.
scared to death. I could never, ever hang with the Atlanta girls. They would read me to the ground in a second. I would be in tears. There would be no, I don't ride their dicks like it's my job. That would not fly in Atlanta. That would definitely not. Those girls would not tolerate my mouth.
What about OC?
I like OC. I know less of it. I wasn't invested in the beginning. And I went back, and I think it's hard when you go back and rewatch stuff from a long time ago. I didn't watch that. I didn't follow it as it was happening.
Okay. Are you following this season?
I'm following this season.
You are?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Yes. I mean, Team Shannon, first and foremost, and always. Yeah, Alexis is the worst.
Yeah.
Lexi, what are we supposed to be calling her? Johnny J? I can't.
Truly Johnny
I
J at
can't
this
say
point.
any of
She is
those
his
things.
spokesperson.
Tamara's nice to me on social media. I see that she has problems with other people. I have not had a problem with Tamara.
Where do you fall with Jen, who both seems very sweet? You want to root for her, but similar to Brittany, at what point is it kind of like, man, you're really putting yourself and potentially your kids in some very uncomfortable situations?
Yeah, I think that's tricky. I think it's hard to judge what somebody else is going through. And I know a lot of people say it's easy for me because I just spend Todd's money, or, Todd came in and swooped in and saved Gwen and I. But I would love to see both of them have an evolution of themselves where they really are in charge of what's best for them and their kids. I'm not gonna shit on what they've already done, but I would love to see both of them really step into being powerful. Yeah.
I love that. Have you tried this Van Leeuwen, how do you say the ice cream that just came out with a Salt Lake City flavor for Real Housewives?
What can I say? I'm going to help launch it next week.
You
Yes,
are?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be in New York with 2 other, I will not name them, castmates. And I have an ice cream outfit planned. Of course they asked me. Of
Obviously.
course they asked me. They wanted to make sure there was somebody, dressed as Mr. Frosty to pass this thing
Perfect.
out.
Perfect.
I'm very excited about it. I love ice cream. And yeah, something saltier than us, ladies.
Right?
Let's do
Who
it.
would have thought?
Yeah.
It looks really good. It's like
It's gonna be
salt,
cute.
lavender, and
Caramel. Yeah.
Yum.
Because it's SLC, salt, lavender, caramel. They're so tricky.
they're so
So
look at them
tricky.
go. Wow.
Yeah.
For
So-
anyone who is wondering,
Yeah.
especially mid-season, given how much people think, Todd hates being a house husband, are you fully committed? Are you back if they want you?
We'll have to see how things end. I'm in a tricky place in some of my friendships right now,
Okay.
post filming. And I always want to be in a good place.
But if you get asked to come back, are you in, or are you personally unsure?
I always have more story. I always have more things to say. I always have more insults to scream across a hot tub. I guess it would really depend on how my relationships were able to move forward. A lot hinges on the reunion.
I feel like you're implying that the Lisas and the Merediths and the Heathers of the world have a say in it.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I would want to come back in a really realistic way. If there's no path forward for some of my friendships, then I think I shouldn't be at a dinner. I shouldn't be at your house. You shouldn't be at my event. So if we could figure out a civil path forward, some of us, then I think there's more to explore there. Yeah.
Wow, what a tease.
I'm not saying that they could keep me out. Never. But I'm just saying I would want to make sure it was real.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
What I filmed thus far has been really me, like it or not.
We like it.
We
I
like
like
it.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Thank
you've
you.
been excellent.
Thanks.
But what do I know?
What about Todd? You really like Todd?
I don't. Yeah.
This,
No, I don't.
This feels like the pool with me and Lisa.
Yeah.
Can you say I'm not two-faced? can I say you're not
That
Jewish?
was, you were like,
was painful.
thinking about
It was
it.
the most painful thing.
Anytime someone repeats the question back to you.
Stall for time, girl.
No,
stall for time.
I mean,
What?
it's nice
What?
way. I just don't really care one way or the other. He's
Okay.
like, I'm not watching.
So maybe Todd shouldn't come back.
For Todd. But if he wants to, great. I think I think it's makes for fun scenes. I think he's a compelling character given like obviously his background, his wealth, but like he's not the main character and why you're there, you know.
No.
And you know, while I understand the audience's like perception of the relationship, but like I said, like I also understood and respect someone who doesn't care what people think and can set a boundary and like it's you can tell he's doing it for his wife.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, he very much is.
And is a little surprised.
But he's also a
what he
little
signed up
bit
for.
messy. I love when he like makes little polygamy jokes on the side at lunch, or he's calling tequila mediocre. Todd acts like he's above it and Housewives is not
a
for
little
him.
messy.
And then he likes to twist that knife a little tiny bit. Yeah.
What is the
shady.
best gift Todd has given you?
Best gift Todd's given
Minus
me?
this $5 million necklace.
Oh, stop. Not the $5 million necklace. Years ago, Todd, I love pandas. It's like this weird
Okay.
He bought you a panda?
antidote. I wish he'd bought me a panda. God, Todd, get on this. I want a panda for Christmas, Todd. It's only a couple months away. No, he got me a Louis Vuitton hat box, like a special piece of luggage. And they had my favorite panda painted on it. And I freaked out. I totally freaked out about it. It's not very usable because I want to destroy the painting. So it's just in my office. It's beautiful. Todd likes to buy me art. He likes to buy me art and jewelry.
Those
And
are
I
smart
can hear.
gifts.
I can already hear the
those
jokes
are.
coming. They're all resellable gifts. They're not resellable gifts, but yeah.
But just in case.
Yeah, just in case, I
You know,
guess.
like
Always an insurance.
it's an appreciable asset.
What is your favorite brand for a purse?
My well, I collect Judith Liebers.
Do
So I have to
you?
say Judith Lieber. Oh yeah, I have
Wow.
tons of Judith Liebers. Yes, you have to go back and watch in all the episodes. I'm always holding a Judith Lieber, and I've given a Judith Lieber to Gwen, to Todd's mom, and to a woman who was like a second mom to me. And then
And
I
Natalie
give
Joy, all
one,
right.
and now and I give one to one of the ladies at some point during the season. So
I hope they say thank you.
I mean, serious friendship I
Wow,
was extending
no,
to them.
truly.
Serious
Oh my
friendship
God.
happening here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you get a
you'll
little
see.
uncomfy wearing $5 million necklaces? Like, or no?
No, I always have. I mean, I don't always
have to
have
have
tons
security?
of jewelry on. No, because something. Okay, first of all, something that ridiculous, nobody thinks it's real.
Well, we know
Nobody
now.
would look at that and think like, of course, it looks like costume jewelry. A lot of the pieces I wear that are actually the most expensive, you would not know. Like I love those Dolce & Gabbana enamel boxes that they make, the purses that are so elaborate, or the Judith Liebers. I have a couple really rare, special Chanel bags, and that's not what people would think is the big. People would think jewelry or like a Birkin or those kind of things. So yeah, the weirder you are, the more under the radar you are.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I know you got to go.
Yay,
we thank you for your time. It's been so much fun.
This was so easy. Maybe I should film this all the time instead of other things,
gosh.
right? Thank you guys for
we
having me.
like to have fun with our guests. Well, I think we really enjoy you on the show. We hope you are back for many
continues.
more seasons.
Yay.
You've done such an excellent job
Thank
being a
you.
housewife, and so
Thank
thanks
you.
for being so entertaining.
Yeah, thanks for having me, both of you.
Of course.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you back tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.